Hey YouTube, Mecha-san here, and welcome back for another World of Remnant with Uncle Crow. And this one here, he talks about Atlas. Now, we've already heard quite a bit about Atlas, actually. We know that their kingdom, academy, and military are all one. We know that they are the strongest military in all the four kingdoms. At least that's, if I remember correctly, that's what they said. And that's, what else have we heard? That's also where Weiss lives, and the Schnee Dust Company, where they're the ones who made the CCT towers. They live up north. Next to Vale, actually, I think we know more about Atlas than Vale, now that I think about it. Huh. Oh well, let's see what else Crow can teach us. Alright, maximize screen. Seriously? Thank you! Atlas. I'm sure Crow's got some very, informative things to say, damn.
I suppose it's time we talked about the fine people at the top of the world.
Literally.
Atlas is Remnant's youngest and arguably most successful kingdom.
Really? Youngest?
It's a bit of a special case. See, before the Great War, there was no Atlas.
Okay.
It was Mantle.
Oh!
At some point in time, a group of settlers were crazy enough to venture out into the northernmost continent of Solitas.
Solitas.
Guess when you're that desperate, a frozen hunk of rock doesn't seem like such a bad place to call home. As a matter of fact, the harsh weather conditions proved to be just as useful as the mountain ranges when it came to keeping the creatures of the Grim at bay.
The way they freeze?
It also kept the people of Mantle from flourishing. Humanity's got a neat trick up its sleeve, though. Whenever we're faced with a problem, our inclination is to find a solution.
Oh!
The cold climate of Solitas forced its settlers to adapt.
I see.
They developed a more advanced technology, and they did it faster than the rest of the world.
I get that makes
because
sense.
They had to survive.
It looks like they have a large deposit of dust under.
New forms of dust application and weaponry allowed Mantle to expand. More and more territory was set aside for dust mining and research. The territory beside the kingdom's combat school, Alcius, was the most opportune area to construct a new R&D facility. But by the time things were all said and done, it would be much, much more.
Okay.
Alcius was reopened as Atlas after the Great War to house many of the warriors now seeking guidance in an effort to give back to the citizens. Mantle applied all sorts of new dust techniques and technologies used in the war to beef up the Academy's campus. The school grounds expanded faster than they could have imagined, and even helped to better secure the surrounding areas.
Okay.
It wasn't long before the kingdom's military moved in, then the labs and research facilities, and eventually even residential areas started popping up.
Huh.
In time, it became apparent that the city of Mantle was living in Atlas' shadow. So the decision was made to move the kingdom's capital. Mantle was old news, and the kingdom of Atlas was born. A golden age of prosperity, they called it.
Yeah?
Those left behind in Mantle would probably tell you that it was the coldest winter they ever knew.
Okay, we haven't heard anything. Okay, good. Atlas replaced Mantle during that war was how long ago though? It had to be like 80 years ago. Or am I remembering it right? Cause alright, we had the Faunus Civil War, which was a couple of years back, I believe. And the war there that Crow was referring to, the Great War, it's the war that started the trend where everyone's named their children after colors. Mantle fell and Atlas rose. And I'm confused here, I mean, wouldn't anyone who remembered Mantle be very old by now and dead? Okay, but it's interesting though. I mean, so like I thought, because it's ice cold there, there's like practically no Grim, but they need to survive still, and apparently survive because of dust. I'm guessing there's a large vein of dust underneath Mantle. Untouched for who knows how long, and they prospered like crazy. All for survival. And given the cold, it does explain, I think it does explain why Weiss is in winter and are like white and pale and have snow white hair. At least in my headcanon it does. It's definitely intriguing, and I can see how they became the prosperous military if all the warriors from after the Great War went to Atlas, because Atlas literally opened their doors to them. It makes sense. Well, that was the Kingdom of Atlas, at least from Crow's perspective. Yeah, very nice cliff notes. Next time, I think it's obvious it's going to be Vacuo. And then Menagerie. So tune in for those videos, people. As always, if you have anything to say, any thoughts on what Crow said here, drop in the comment section down below. And like and subscribe for more videos. Until next time, this is Mecha-san, logging out.